Hello everyone, welcome back to the lab. I know it's been a long time since I uploaded last time, but I feel like there's something I wanna kind of still cover from my deck profile. In case you don't know, I topped 32 in the past weekends of YCS Minnesota, and then in my deck profile in my tier element deck profile that I top 32 with, I mentioned about the combo of Brenda and High Spirits. However, I think we both me and Johnny forgot to record the actual combo that I mentioned that I would. So yeah, so I'm just gonna record another separate video and upload it to my own channel, specifically about the combo, including or honestly the combos and the tricks, including branding high spirits in my tier element deck. If you are interested in the original deck profile, it's in Johnny's channel, Asian Persuasion. I will have the link to my profile in the description section, and then feel free to check the actual deck profile, give him a like, and follow to his channel as well. And then that being said, I guess we can start about Branding High Spirits. So this is my list from top 32 Minnesota. Um, the details I've already covered the majority of them in my deck profile. So all I'm really gonna do is specifically talking about Brandon High Spirits that I forgot to cover. Um, and then uh, wait, and then I mentioned in the profile where Branding High Spirits opening can play around B stats or B styles completely. And a lot of people been playing High Spirits in general, but actually not knowing the specific combo involving it. So I'm just gonna show it really quick. Starting hand. So assume your opening is just Branding High Spirits with one of the random tier, and assume the opponent has like any beast tail. Just using Magma as example here. Starting with High Spirit, show the tier, send Rural, grab Cartesia. Then the tier gonna activate into Kick House. Kick House on some search. Usually I'll grab either Murray or Rhino Heart. It depends on what kind of ending board I want to make. Murray will give me access to a level 2, so this usually ends on like an elf. And then Rhino Heart is a 4, so give me access to rank 4. And this will depend on different matchup, depends on the opponent. I'll just grab the different monster differently. So here, I guess I'll just grab Murray as an example here. And then, like, for the first kick out summon, there were no monster on the board, so Beast Down monster cannot be activated as a quick effect to banish the first tier activating the graveyard. And then here, so the kick outs will always be successfully summoned if Beast Down was the only hand trap from the opponent. Here, I'll go normal summon Cartesia, activate kick outs Channel 1, target itself, and then channeling to the Cartesia because Cartesia is a quick effect to fusion summon for a level 8 higher fusion monster, and summon my Cows with the kick house on the field and the monster I want to summon that I just searched earlier by kick house from my hand. And because the nature of kick house, this card says I target a monster I control, and then I special summon another one first. And if I do, send the target monster to graveyard. So the main part of the effect is to special summon. Therefore, despite Kikalos is no longer on the field, the effect will still try to resolve as much as possible, and thus I'll be able to still revive the monster. I can honestly even revive the kick house here, but if I do that, I will not be able to mill fight because I leave the field. I leave the graveyard before I activate. So here, that's why I said earlier during the kick house search, I will search the monster that I want to bring back with Kikalos at the very beginning. So here are just some of the Merly back. And then on summon, it will be like this will be Merly 1, Kit 2, well, honestly, doesn't matter. And then, or this can be like a Reinhardt if I decided to grab Reinhardt at the very beginning. And then here, uh, well, I didn't turn on shuffle, so we'll mill all the tiers I have. Here is like, yeah, your opponent can finally beast out any of the graveyard, any of the tier monster in the graveyard. However, Rook House already on the field, and you have Rook House and stuff in another tier available. So whenever the beast tail is activating, Rook House can just negate and destroy it, thus um, preventing beast tail monster interrupting any of the tier combo that is performing right now. And as long as you hit one tier out of either the mill 8 or you guarantee hitting one because Reinhardt, this board can easily turn like these two can turn to Elf and then maybe like another Draco Stapler next to it. Or it's just like a rank 4 plus a Draco Stapler or something where if you hit two, you can even make both. So that's the short term for how Cartesia works. And also, I guess, let me see. Can I even do this? Well, I don't have a 4. I don't have access to a 4. The other thing is because Cartesia says during the end phase, if a fusion mouse enter graveyard, you can add it back just like the Y Ecclesia. I have made a Dweller in my turn with Cartesia and going to my own end phase activate Dweller first to detach it so I can straight add it back for like the activation requirement for like crime and other things. Or just like for a cost like super poly or droplet for next turn if I open with it. And that's another cool trick with Cartesia that you can do. The only issue about Cartesia is like it only fusions some for A or higher. So it doesn't help making kickouts by itself. However, there are AO high fusion monster that is being summoned usually. There has been games where I didn't do it, but I at least thought about doing it. It just normal Cartesia, use Cartesia effect, fuse Reinhardt and two other tier in my hand and summon Kaleidoheart that way, straight from out of nowhere. Uh, whether that is the optimal play or not, it really heavily depends on the game state, the situation. So, but that's at least an option that can be taken consideration if when needed. So yeah, that's the first thing, the first trick about how the standard high spirit combo works, especially against beast styles, and that's also why I concluded why like I ended up playing DD Crow and concluded that the fact Crow is just significantly better than beast styles, because now there's no barrier. Like everyone have access to Rucal, unlike D3 Frog before. Um, if you are not playing high spirits, you should be playing high spirits. Well, until for the next 2 weeks until it shoots the cards. Well, maybe even after it shoots the cards. Who knows that for that? And then, if hypothetically speaking, every tier should be playing high spirits, then beast tails are just significantly worse than the curl for the simple fact, for the simple combo I just showed. And there's other things where you can do not just against beast styles, but some cool tricks. For example, Dogwood. Because reading carefully on Dogwood, you can activate anytime except the end phase during the turn. However, each time your opponent spell summon an effect monster during the main phase or battle phase, you gain life points. There has been happened to me during the YCS where I go draw phase high spirit, pitch my tier, and then send Rukalos, search the Cartesia that I was planning to do combo with, and I activate Sharing the Graveyard. My opponent chain Dogwood while still in draw phase. This will result in me summoning Kickhouse but not letting my opponent gain any life points. And I think here, that's why I also like the counter trap, like crime. I can just search a counter trap, add to my hand, and move to main phase, set a counter trap, go into end phase, pass turn. And because Dogwood failed to gain any life points, my opponent life cut in half. And whenever Dogwood is being played, it's almost in time, and that actually won me a game because of it. Because my opponent just Dogwood draw phase while I was special summoning draw phase. He failed to gain any life points, he cut in half. And next turn, I just played in his main phase with my Crime and Cartesia and other things. That's another trick. And also, like, obviously, simple thing. You summon Kikals without even putting a monster on the field. It dodges cherries. That's very simple. What's the other one? Oh, D-Shifter. D-Shifter. This is another cool one. That I have encountered before. Where, for example, it's a matchup against like Flunder that I know that might D-Shifter might happen. There has been times where I start my turn with activate Sharon and my opponent chain D-Shifter. All I need to do is chain my High Spirit and pitch the Sharon that I just activated. Then resolve High Spirits normally. And then because the chain resolve backwards, Sharon will still be sent to graveyard. And Shaden will still be able to resolve and summon Kikalos, and I'll just grab the crime that way. And that's like a tricky way to dodge D-Shifter. Well, not really dodge D-Shifter, but kind of a little bit play into D-Shifter as a like a backup plan. Like against Flunder, just have a counter trap and maybe potentially some other things like, for example, the skill drains in my side can actually buy you a good turn while D-Shifter is effective, and then during the turn after, um, making like once D-Shifter is gone, Flunder just really in the weaker state, and now there's a chance to come back. That also applied to like Sply last format when almost all the splites are siding D-Shifter. So yeah, that's some other cool things, cool tricks the high spirit works. That also applied to like Dogwood. For example, I just Shaylin activate, then my opponent Dogwood, I can just chain high spirits and pitch Shaylin, not use Shaylin effect in the graveyard, and just resulting my opponent pay half of their life points for nothing. Which yeah, those are the cool tricks. Like I mentioned in the profile, high spirits as a card, it's so good in tier deck that I think everyone or most people already been playing it, and if not, they should be playing it. And then for different matchup against different hand traps, different interruptions, high spirits can play around most of the annoying ones. Name specifically about like shifter, cherries, dogwood, and beastels in different ways. So yeah, that's why I've been playing this card since Wisest Niagara, which is almost a month and a half ago, and I've like always getting good results with it, and I'm not regretting playing it. And then that's pretty much it. Concluding the niche things that I forgot to cover in my deck profiles involving Brandon High Spirits. So if you think this is helpful, this give you some cool idea of how the card really functions in the deck, leave your comments in the comment section, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Well, despite not really uploading as much as before. And then yeah, share to your friends, to anywhere, if you think this knowledge is helpful. And that being said, I will see everyone in the next video. See ya.